Welcome to another edition of Morningside Community Business Exposure. I am Pedro Samuels, your local realtor with Sutton Group, Elysium. Here with me today for part one of a two-part series is Mark Thomas, Executive Director, Co-founder and Community Action Group of Toronto, and Ainsworth Slowly, Creative Director of Crue Space. These two organizations have collaborated to deliver the best possible training programs that is geared towards the development of youth. Gentlemen, welcome and thank you for joining me today.
Welcome. Thanks, Pedro, for hosting us. We're excited to be here and we're excited to talk about the Community Action Group of TO and, of course, of Crue Space. So thanks again.
You're most welcome.
Thank you for having me here as well. And I'll enjoy this. This sounds fun.
Well, that's the idea. We should have some fun here. And at the same time, inform the community.
Yes, sir.
Tell me, how would you describe your organization?
Perfect question. So the Community Action Group of TO is a professional training and facilitating nonprofit agency in Toronto. Essentially, our mandate is to help community members become highly trained in dealing with their unique challenges to ensure true equality across our society. Our goal is to ensure all members of the community are treated fairly and have equal opportunities. Also host community events across Toronto, including community cleanups, mural revitalization, community gardens, and more. So the short name CAGE-TO is working with all levels of government to help empower the youth to face the ever-growing challenges of tomorrow with enhanced skill training today.
Wonderful. Ainsworth?
Yes, so we're innovative technology, nonprofit incorporated, but we are a social enterprise. In 2018, we became a certified social enterprise. And so what we do is we provide access to technologies for individuals to learn, create, and have an opportunity to earn. We provide skill training and employment for youth, Black, Indigenous, and people of color, which are youth 16 to 29. We provide access to training that they would never have access to in terms of video, graphics, web, IT, cybersecurity, and digital growth mindset. So our goal is to empower the community and make sure that they have access to digital services for situations like this when skilled needs are needed and everything is changing in towards the future. So we make sure that we provide access to those technologies so that every individual can be able to learn.
Okay, thank you. I get a feel that you are more or less trying to zero in on the youth.
We do zero in on the youth 16 to 29. We have a granting. We work with the government to get grants so the youth can have access to these programs free. But we also work with career and training organizations so that they need to, if there's an on-demand skill that they need to update. Let's take, for example, 40-year-olds to 60-year-olds. They're now on the downside of the economy because of the ageism and because they have to now adapt to the digital workforce. So they've been working before, now there's this big push on digital. And so we will train them to get back into the workforce so that they can be a strain off the system. And then we help youth that don't have access to these type of programming to get skills so that once they have a skill, they will have a better chance in the future to actually have employment.
What was the driving factor that caused you guys to think of something like this, to want to do this type of a business?
Yeah. So in terms of the Community Action Group, I'm a strong believer of the community. And COVID-19 really put a stress on many community members in kind of Scarborough, Guildwood, Morningside specifically. So, I decided with my girlfriend and we were going to start the Community Action Group to help empower and kind of restore the strength of the community that were so devastated by COVID. So that was essentially my driving factor, was to help Scarborough. And so that to me was a real sticking point, just the devastation from COVID-19 on families and community groups.
Certainly need something to bring us back from that. How about you, Ains?
Well, for me, I'm a lived experience. So I graduated from Rice in business management, and I also went to CBC Academy of Design to learn all this new media production. And so upon completion, we started this online channel. And when this online channel started, it was actually focusing on the community of all the positive things that were happening in the community. So we used to be out there shooting, editing, doing all this stuff. And then all the kids were asking me, how can I get into this programming? So at that time, the program to learn what I learned was $28,000. So I was working for a company at the time. And then I realized, we can do this. And then in 2020, the pandemic hit. And so we wanted to make sure that my students can have access to all the equipment. And so we developed Crue Space so that they can still have the training, still have the innovative hands-on work experience. And we made the platform very interactive because they're home. And we wanted to make sure this online learning was not something very static and boring. And so we wanted to make a difference in the community. And this is how we work together.
So how long have you guys been together?
As a
business, that is.
As a business for about 1.5 years now. In speaking and how to get this thing going. And then Mark officially launched his business maybe in the early year. And then we just kind of came together because it fit perfectly, because we kind of have the synergy back and forth. And so it just worked.
What do you want to see improve the most in this neighborhood?
So, I mean, one thing I want to see them improved is like the ability for the residents to be empowered. So the community action group is about empowering individuals and training and facilitating workshops to empower individuals. I mean, there's a lot of kind of issues that I've been shown, like, potholes, let's say, like garbage cleanups, or just general kind of safety issues around different buildings. These are all things that are able to be fixed and addressed at a community level. But for some reason, the training is not there to empower the community members. So that is my goal. I want to go into the different neighborhoods in Scarborough and help train them to be empowered, to know what they can do, to know what they're able to do, and to know who they can reach out to if they need something to be done. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Ainsworth, you were about to say something?
Well, for me, like I said, I had lived experience. So my lived experience where, yes, I have the skills. Yes, I've been graduated, but also I also got in trouble legally. So me getting in trouble legally was what saved me, was having these skills. Because once I have these skills, I was not stuck to the point where I'm looking for a job and they're like, oh man, you had some legal issues, we can't hire you. And just me being of color, that puts us in another level. So for what I did was I used all the knowledge that I had to make sure that I can develop these programming around the way that I saw fit. So if I didn't have these skills, I wouldn't be able to write these proposals and say, hey, can you guys, can this happen? Can I help teach these youth? Because what I want to do is make sure they have a skill. Once they have a skill, they can find their way moving forward. Digital is growing to this level. It's going to be the future of work. So me being in this level, I wanted to make sure that anyone in my position who may have a record, who may have been in trouble legally, will have the skills and will be able to move forward and be able to do what they need to do and not let their past hold them back. And so because these skills are hands-on, it allows me to move forward. And then I want that for my community, and I want that from Scarborough. I'm originally from Scarborough, took part in all the community organization stuff. And so, I know a lot of individuals get in trouble, either, for their own reasons, they get in trouble, but they don't have to be limited as a result of that.
I agree with you 110%. I mean, your past does not define you. It's where you want to go that defines you. And you seem to be moving in the right direction. More power to you, my brother.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Mark.
Yes, sir.
Tell me, what is something most people don't know about the Community Action Group?
So that's a good question. Because on social media, you would think we are just a garbage cleanup team. But really, we are trying to unite all of the youth mentoring agencies together and add in the Crue Space platform for their youth. We want to supplement the existing programs and add the Crue Space platform to their offerings. So we want to have a partnership with the existing youth agencies in Scarborough, in Toronto, to start. And we want them to be empowered by the Crue Space platform, because that is the most innovative learning platform I have seen that is geared towards youth training. And I think that together, Ainsworth and I, we can, have those conversations with the youth agencies. And that is our goal. We want to provide the youth agencies the opportunity to grow their programming with the Crue Space platform.
Wonderful. What can I say? You guys seem to be doing such a wonderful job. I mean, all I can do is give you more power, man. That's all.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark and Ainsworth. Unfortunately, we are out of time, but we will be back with part 2 of this informative community business exposure. Once again, I am Pedro Samuels, your local realtor with Sutton Group Elysium. You may contact me at 416-938-8593 to set up your appointment to have your business exposure interview done. See you soon.